We're going to be talking about this beautiful emotion wheel with Tawnya of Chronically Stitched. We're going to talk about how essential oils and can help aid you in ways that you never imagined possible. Serena. So I'm going to invite Tawnya to come talk to us. Stephanie. Girl, I miss your face. I miss all of you.
Hi,
Hi. Hello, hello.
how are
Everybody
you?
get hydrated. I'm doing good. It's been a wild roller coaster, and I know I'm not the only one, right?
Yep, not the only one. February was something.
February was something. Let's just like quickly name off a few things that were like loco, like crazy for February. Can we do that?
Yes,
Okay, you go first.
dental surgery for a 6-year-old.
For a 6-year-old. Yeah. My phone completely breaking, and all of a sudden I don't have one. Like that was most recent, and that really was lame.
My
Also,
my ceiling's leaking like crazy.
yeah, that's
It's a
that's where I was going
catastrophic snowstorm.
So the winter storm which came through was pretty loco too. It was like loose holes in the ceiling, holes in the roof. So
Yep.
so we just want to share with you guys that oils, though we can't use oils to patch our roof, though we can't use oils to necessarily like avoid surgery, they help us when those things come up. They help us get through those difficult things that we can't get around. We have to go through them. Like the ceiling's leaking, your son needed dental surgery, my phone collapsed into a pile of nothing. All of these things happened in February and more. And we're going to talk about how oils helped us manage those things and take care of the people that we take care of and see every day. So I'll start with my favorite blend for stress is this adaptive, and adaptive is a calming blend. It's very, very cool. I brought this nice little wheel of emotions here that I will explain shortly, but orange and lavender have a lot of immediate benefits for using them either topically, internally, or aromatically. And so whenever we take these oils, say a wild orange or a lavender, and we decide to use them, our brains, like our limbic brain up through our olfactory nerve, we smell these things and our hormones react in a way. Our emotional regulation acts in a totally different way. Our state is changed like instantaneously just from inhaling or putting on our skin or even putting in a drop, the ones that you can, into a drop of water and taking them internally. All of those are ways in which your mood can be instantly lifted or instantly calmed.
It's like this. So I heard the example recently that when you go for sedation, when you go to have a procedure that you need to be sedated in, they don't give you a pill that makes you fall asleep. They do give you IV, but that's not what they initially do. What they do is they cover your face in a mask and you breathe in the gas and they tell you to count down from 10. And most people don't get to 0 because that olfactory nerve has so much power that it's activated by the gas that they put into your body that you're out like that.
Yeah, it just illustrates that that's like a really powerful way that that the medicine that we're taking in gets in through not just by swallowing it. Like
Yes.
we've learned that our bodies absorb medicines. We've learned that we inhale them and they go straight to our brain. Like this is the first nerve that regulates all of the data of what you're smelling that goes straight into your brain. And so I feel like when you use essential oils and you learn slowly, like small, and everyone has their own preferences as well. You learn what your preferences are. You learn what works with your kids and your family, with like anyone, your friends. And they have this switch, okay? It's like you wouldn't be able to explain to someone what strawberry ice cream tastes like unless they've had it before. You could be like, well, it's sweet and it's creamy and it's all these things, but they wouldn't actually know that for themselves on their own palate unless they tried it. That's why they say oils are an experiential thing. Like you don't really know, like if I talk about this serenity right here, like you don't know what this smells like, even if I tell you, well, it's lavender, cedarwood, hoe wood, ylang ylang, and more. You know, like you don't like this is so fun. That's one of the things that makes essential oils like really, really fun. There's an oil for that, you know?
It's like that. You can smell something and instantly be transported to your kindergarten classroom the first day of school. You know, that's what oils do. They can transport you somewhere that you are familiar with, but they can also take you on other journeys that you've never even been on.
It's true. It does feel like a journey. I'm on a journey with frankincense right now, and it started ever since I got it, you know? Like, that's really interesting that you said journey because when people think of plant medicines, you know, which I do consider essential oils to definitely be a plant medicine. Um, when I think about plant medicines, you know, some people have like these like, you know, beautiful ayahuasca things, and then some people have like these terrible ayahuasca things, or also, if we like a prescription, like Prozac really worked for me. Oh, like, oh, Prozac drove me crazy, you know, like stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Any like medicines that we take, we're all different. And so that's why it really takes like trying the thing, trying the oil for yourself. Like if you went to your doctor and you were like, okay, I have like an itchy scalp and they give you a medicine that didn't work, and then you just go back to your doctor and like find one that did, right? Or find a different solution. And the purest of essential oils are available to you when you have them so accessible in these little bottles that it's like pleasure and bliss and solutions and health remedies all wrapped up in a little drop. It's kind of a miracle.
They are exactly that. They are a miraculous essence of a plant. They're put here for that reason.
Exactly. I love when I send someone a sample of essential oils and they're like, wow, that smells like the most potent that I've ever smelled. And every oil has multiple uses. I was gonna say they're multi-use, but that doesn't make sense. They have multiple uses. And everyone has their different preferences too. Some people like patchouli, some people don't like patchouli. You know,
Some
sometimes,
people really love lavender and some people really don't.
yeah, even a common one like lavender. Like some people, like my daughter, I think I use lavender too much with her, and now she doesn't like lavender. I mean, when she was younger and I wasn't using doTERRA, and now she loves the Serenity blend, which is the restful blend. It's one that calms you down to the point of like being sleepy. um, I have this really cool wheel. So there's so much information, you guys. There's so much information online that you could just go look up yourself. But, you know, do your own research, especially if you're thinking about like putting essential oils on your skin, you know, do some research. That's what we did. And that's why we're here. I'm going to tell you that a couple different categories of essential oils. So like mints, citruses, spices, herbs, trees, florals, okay? And then I'm going to tell you the kind of emotional responses you can expect to either remedy or gain from these oils. And so I'm just like citrus, for example. When I think about citrus, it's like the citrus grove. It's the oil of abundance, not necessarily like the oil of like financial abundance, but it's like the oil of you having everything that you need, that you have like more than you need even, and that everything is going to be okay. Like that's what citrus makes me feel like.
It's
Citrus,
very, very uplifting, very bright.
absolutely. It is very bright. But you would use citrus if you're feeling discouraged, if you're feeling gloomy. Could you guys imagine? Like, imagine you're like in the middle of an orange grove. You got this oil at your disposal. Just put a couple drops in your diffuser in the morning if you're feeling grumpy when you wake up. If you're feeling discouraged, distressed, gloomy, then you would use a citrus oil. And citrus, you know, lemon, lime, wild orange, all those things. So,
Grapefruit, bergamot.
thank you. don't forget grapefruit and bergamot. They're so special. Okay. So for spices, you would want to add, so this would be like clove, you know, kind of like things that are a little bit hotter and things. If you're feeling somber, you can imagine, right? You need a little spice in your life. You're feeling just kind of drab. If you're feeling disinterested or bored, you just put a little spice in your life. Get some pepper, get some pink pepper and some clove, put some On Guard, which is one of those blends that you just gotta experience for yourself. And grasses. So vetiver is the first grass that comes to mind. What's the first? You got any other grasses?
No, not off the top of my head.
We're big vetiver fans. I don't know if you guys have ever smelled doTERRA's vetiver, but I smelled some non-doTERRA vetiver and it smelled nothing as amazing as doTERRA's.
I
But
want
you
to
would
say
use
patchouli, but patchouli is actually in the peppermint family, so
that's true.
I'm not sure.
Tanya's so good at this, you guys. Tanya's like, actually, I know all these awesome facts. She's like my fact BFF. Okay, so you would use grasses like vetiver. If you were discontented, bitter, angry, you would want to use a grass. Probably if you're feeling angry, you probably need something to hold you back, right? like, like I'm about to go rip on someone, and the grass would like root you down into that like non-movable thing. Just calm down. Okay, trees. So trees, you know, you got the cypress, fir, like
Cedarwood.
cedarwood. Cedarwood, by the way, is the free product of the month if you're already a doTERRA member. Get on that. So trees, if you're grieving, you're sad, or you're ashamed. That's what this is beautiful. And this is the chart I'm looking at. It's very simple, simple little printout. Florals, florals if you're fearful. So that's interesting because I always think of rose, ylang ylang. That's like, that combats fear. Mhm. If you're worried or if you're hurt. So all of the heart things, it feels like. It feels like that's very heart with the florals. And then
So if you think
mints.
about it, the way they open is very slow and harmonious, very
That's
heart, very beating.
very heart-centered. And last but not least are the mints. Okay, and the mints are if you're feeling apathetic, insecure, or anxious. Oh, Tanya, you have a beautiful middle of the night use for mint, for
Yes.
peppermint. Yeah.
Yeah, I always wake up when I always wake up. I wake up so many times a night that I don't even count anymore. But every time I wake up and I can't go back to sleep, I'll put peppermint on because it instantly will calm me down. Usually peppermint's one of those that people like it awakens you and it like makes you open your eyes. But for me, it calms me down. It makes it like, okay, I can breathe. I feel the mint. I can sleep now.
Yeah, I feel like mint when you feel that cooling or the deep blue, the wintergreen,
Hmm.
both when you feel those on your body, it almost brings you back into a consciousness, like
Hmm.
your presence. Like it actually like brings you into like your brain realm back into your body. You're like, I can feel my body and it's constant. It's a constant cooling that only
Yes,
fades after because it's so powerful that it only fades like after you stop noticing it. Like, you know, it's
yes,
very strong. Very, very strong.
it is very strong.
Mhm. So let's talk about how we can use this is pretty much like how we use oils on ourselves and things, but let's talk about like how they help with our kids. Maybe let's talk about how they help with our friends and our partners. Do you have a
So,
story?
adaptive, actually, when my kid was preparing for surgery, because, adaptive is very calming, but 6-year-old, they don't really know what surgery is, but he's been through it before a couple of times, so he has an idea of what it is. And he just kept saying, Mom, I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm worried. I'm nervous. Like he was just using all the words. So, and to get a 6-year-old to articulate exactly what it is that their fear is rough. So I just made him his own little roller bottle of adaptive and handed it to him, and he walked around with it, put it on, smelled it, and then he would be calm. We took it with us for the day of surgery, and he hardly needed it because I think at that point he had used it and he was like, okay, I smell it, I'm good, I don't even need to put it on. So he
That's
stayed
so,
calm the whole morning and everything.
yeah. It's just when you can do that and you see that they're actually working, that's when you're sold, you know?
Yes.
Like really, really like whenever like things okay, so my sometimes not to give them any discredit, but sometimes my 6-year-old and my 14-year-old they get into like spats and then I'll just like be like, is the diffuser running? Like, is it even on anymore? And I'm like, no, it's not. And so like I go grab oils and I'm like
I totally did the same thing. I'm like, which ones will work? Oh my God, how many of them can I put in this diffuser?
you ever feel like you're putting oils in the diffuser for like different problems too? Like,
Yes.
okay, serenity because my kids need to go to sleep, and tea tree because I need to wake up. And like,
Yes.
I rarely do that, but it's fun. It's funny when I'm like, oh, tea tree is one that I've actually like fallen back in love with because I used to buy like the cheapest tea tree, you guys. I used to buy like Walgreens tea tree, and I was like, it was just astringent for my face, so it seemed like it was oily. You know, it's what I used it for. So, but now that I have real tea tree, I'm like, my precious. It's not
Blown away
expensive.
by it, right?
Yes, blown away. And the fact something about tea tree is bringing me to a place where I feel like I can conquer more in my day. As soon as I
Mhm.
start feeling overwhelmed, I'm like, just go smell some tea tree. And that's been my new teacher, actually, tea tree, Melaleuca. Um, for my kids though, I was talking about how they get in like these spats, and normally Serenity or Purify works. Purify is a cilantro type smell, and Serenity is like a lavender, like a tree wood. Well done. Um, so those two get my kids to calm down. Once and then so I fill up the diffuser and then I turn around and I'm like, you guys, take a deep breath. Like just sit down. Just stop
Everybody breathe.
for a second and just breathe. And they do. And then we talk about it. And then we decide what we're gonna do next, you know? And then we go do it. And it all works together in like this seamless thing that gets us all to not argue as much. And don't even get me started about the wind down and like the crank up of morning. Like I now have a ritual for my whole house. Like every night, Serenity goes in. Every morning, I assess the situation and I'm like, okay, it seems like we're a wild orange and lemon eucalyptus morning. Or it seems like we're an on guard morning because we have sniffly noses. And
Yep.
yeah,
It's always an on guard night here. I'm like, oh, you're a little sniffly. Let's put the on guard in.
yeah. It really does help. I mean, you smell it. That Everest posted this picture that she was like when the diffuser hits, and she's like,
Yes.
she's like, because
That
it
would be
does.
great.
The diffuser hits when you got doTERRA oils in them.
I mean,
Serena was on the call. Yeah, go ahead.
there was, how many kids were here? 7? So 6 kids and a baby. And the kids were running and screaming and chaos because, 6 kids, 8 and under. It's going to be chaos. And the baby doesn't like it. So he was just crying. And I'm like, what oils can I put in this diffuser right now? I'm like dumping oils in. I'm like, Roman chamomile, lemon. I don't even know. Let's just go with those. Roman chamomile, lemon, and lavender. Like, do it. Perfect. Everybody was like, they went from a 10 down to like 5. And I was like, okay, now we can all breathe. Let's not all panic at once.
Yeah. I'm just sorry. I just have like the image of us like in our diffusers and like our rows of oils and being like, what, 2 drops of this, 4 drops of this, bibbidi bobbidi boo, you know? Like,
That's me. I'm like, I pull the whole shelf out. And I'm like, what do I do? What do I do?
and
And
as
where
you
does
know
it go?
you know what to do. Like that's even more fun when you already have a relationship with these plants and you're like, oh, I know what works for who, and I know like how when
Yeah.
to start it, and
Yeah, when you know which oils work for when you've had them long enough and you know instinctively which oil to grab for yourself, but then watching everybody else and they all have a favorite oil too. So they're all everybody's different, and making those combinations is cool. The combination that'll calm everyone down is great.
Yeah, it is fun. I feel like it's part of our witchery now. I feel like our plant potions, little
You know, when it
cocktail.
comes to myself, I'm always like, I don't know what to use. I have no idea. But when someone else has the same problem, I'm like, oh, use this one. And then I was like, oh, wait, I could have used that one. I'm like,
Trina's on my
instinctively no for other people, but for myself, I'm like, I don't know.
Serena, wasn't it Serenity, the nighttime, the restful blend? Wasn't it she literally was like, I think I put too much in. I was like, yeah, like they're really strong. Like
Yeah, they are.
you gotta watch out when you're comparing an old lavender to a doTERRA lavender and you use it at the same. Whoa, girl. Whoa, slow down.
Get up. It's a little
Yeah.
more potent,
Yeah,
or a lot more potent.
we're a lot more potent. Like lemon, for example. The fact that I've ever used a lemon extract in my life to make anything is crazy when you actually try like a drop of lemon in your stuff. Like it's incredible.
Yeah,
Incredible.
it is.
So, doTERRA, you just kind of, once you learn about the company and once you try the oils for yourself, it feels like it's almost a no-brainer that that you end up like learning more and more about each one like through time, and you also learn how to use them, which is really important when it comes to emotions, when it comes to like taking care of people and having like the patience to continue loving people when we're all going a little batty and under stress. um I can't imagine anything better, like not even smoking cannabis like compares to essential oils, and nothing that's like beneficial, you know what I mean? Like in the
Yeah,
same
I
way.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the CBD, yeah, that's beneficial and that's great, but I find way more benefit in copaiba oil.
And copaiba oil is a complete oil. It's not isolated like the CBD. Like from what I
Hmm.
understand, full spectrum is is more advantageous in general. I hope I'm not like in generally full spectrum of anything is more advantageous than like one isolated little thing, because that has disadvantages. So you take what
Hmm.
nature gave you, like all of it, and you use that. Or if humans try to like isolate it, like genetically, isolate these things, not just distilling. This is different than isolating. This is distilling. Isolating is when like scientists go in and they like take things like away, or they have.
Hmm.
Yeah. I just feel like oils are like a pro and a pro and a pro and a pro and very little cons.
Hmm.
And they're just magical little. I'm so happy that they're in my life. Like I'm so
Me
happy we're
too.
sitting here talking about them. I'm so happy we're sharing them with people who didn't feel like they had solutions, and now they have plenty of solutions, and how they help us every single day. Like not a day
Every day.
goes by every day.
It's like I tell my kids, I write every day, I read every day, I do math every day, I use essential oils every day. Like those are every single day. Those are the four things that I do every single day.
Yeah. Hmm. We were together in a call the other day about essential oils and emotions, and I screenshotted this cool little list right here, everybody, from doTERRA leaders. Um, and I'm just gonna read through like what kind of emotions, unless you have anything else that you want to say, Tawnya, or I'm just gonna read this
No,
list because it's
you can read it.
very insightful, very insightful, you
It
guys.
is.
So.
I know. I was like, why do I like fur oil so much?
And for frankincense, for me, that was like light bulb. And I was like, wow. So if you've done your shadow work, pay attention to these emotions that we're about to read to you, and then what essential oil would help with it. So some of these have, well, like there's HD Clear, Slim and Sassy. That's all I really see. Peace Blend. Serenity, which we already talked about. So there's a couple blends in here that you might not know exactly what it is, but just keep it in mind. Go to doTerra's website. You can quickly look it up in the top little header thing, and then you can see what's in this, okay? So I'll say the emotion. So unforgiving, that you would obviously use the forgive oil, and I'm pretty sure forgive oil has a lot of. Suppressed anger would be HD clear. Resentful is thyme oil. If you're angry, then use cardamom. If you are distrustful, use geranium flowers. If you're guarded, use clary calm, which is clary sage and some other blends, or other oils, excuse me. If you're anxious, use the peace blend. And these ones that say peace and forgive, cheer, all of these are blends that doTERRA makes, and these are the emotional blends that they actually formulate and they create.
So I can tell you what's in peace.
Okay, cool.
Maybe.
For anxiety, you guys.
It's vetiver, lavender, ylang ylang, frankincense, clary sage, marjoram, laudanum leaf, and spearmint oil.
Thank you. If you're terrified, use juniper berry. Interesting. That's cool. If you're overworked, use tangerine.
I just got that one.
Yeah. Okay, negative family patterns. Use Douglas fir.
And it's amazing.
We have our favorites, and it actually lines up with our issues. So.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, if you are fatigued, use basil. Interesting, interesting. If you are stressed, use serenity. I just put serenity on my temples. We talked about this the whole time. If you're unappreciated, use red mandarin. If you're feeling unappreciated, use red mandarin. We just had green mandarin as the oil like last month in February. Mm-hmm. If you're shy, use cassia oil.
Cassia is like a similar to cinnamon.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I kind of want to give some to my kids when they're like afraid to do things, you know. It's like once you learn all these things, you know, and you're like, oh, I know what oil is for that, and you grab your little case and you're like, I know what's gonna help you. That's fun part of being a real person. I was gonna say oil lady, but you know, there's none. If you have body shame, then you will use patchouli. And after I learned this that very night, I rubbed patchouli on all of my biggest places. And I was like,
not going to be shameful anymore.
No moss. So worthiness is slim and sassy. I have it in my kitchen. It's wild orange and like cinnamon.
Another one has grapefruit in it.
Yeah, grapefruit. That's another one. It's like lemon, grapefruit, some more citrus, a little bit of peppermint for worthless. If you're feeling worthless, citrus and peppermints, that'll help you out. For lack of confidence, it's another blend called passion. If you are guilty, if you're feeling guilt, Copaiba, the tree, the amazing oil that we take internally, Copaiba from South America. They tap Copaiba trees like maple trees, and they're very careful about how old they are, how much the tree can be tapped. I'll go on a tangent with the Copaiba. Okay, trauma, helichrysum. I said that right? Helichrysum? Yep. I don't have that one yet.
I don't have that one yet either.
Yeah. For abandonment, you would use frankincense. Man, frankincense is my daddy now. I don't know. I mean that like in a funny way, but okay. So if you are wounded, feeling wounded, like you can't cover up the ouch, then you would use manuka oil. For sexual trauma, jasmine. That's pretty cool. If you're feeling like you're being controlling or you want too much control over your life, then you will use cilantro. That's in that white bottle purity blend that Tawnya showed us. So if you're feeling perfectionistic, you will take in the tree medicine through cypress. Cypress will help you with your perfectionistic tendencies. If you're feeling pessimistic, if you're feeling like things just aren't working out, doTERRA has a blend for that. It's called Cheer.
Smells really good too.
Yeah, all these here. So the citrus, you see that up there kind of. So cheer, passion, forgive, console, peace. All of those are little blends. And they all come in a cute little box if you want to buy all of them, or you can buy them single, but they all come in this really cute little box, and so you have all those emotional oils like at the ready. That's cool. We just have like 3 more, or 4 more. Pessimistic is cheer. Regret is Siberian fir. If you're feeling regret.
I love that one.
Yeah. You love all the furs.
I do.
I love them too. And it's like nothing I've ever smelled like in a forest.
It's like, so I made a blend one time and I can't remember what I put in it, but I put Siberian fir, and my 8-year-old was like, Mom, oh, it was Siberian fir and wild orange. And he's like, Mom, I feel like I'm walking in the forest, like we're gonna go camping in the forest. I was like, yes, that's the feeling I wanted.
Exactly. That's exactly how I wanted to feel. Thanks, son. Pour boundaries is clove oil, another hot spice. And on this cute little thing.
No, you don't pour the clove oil on the person. That is disrespecting the boundaries.
Somber and disinterested and bored also goes with clove oil. Pour boundaries. Go with clove oil. And the last one is yarrow palm if you feel unsafe. So yarrow as in that little, it's not little, I think it's like a stalk. Anyway, it's yellow. It's a yellow flower. And palm, is it pomegranate? Yeah, it's pomegranate.
Yeah.
That's another one I haven't tried. So that's what I'm saying. Me and Tawnya are learning this for like the long term. And it's so fun to have solutions. So fun.
I think I'm always putting in like, I already have this oil, so I'm going to get something different every month.
Yeah, totally. It's fun to
coming up on that, like, I need Copaiba again, so.
Oh, yeah. And do you have your book right beside you?
I do.
Mine's around here somewhere. Anyway, we use this book. This is our beautiful guide that we use, the Essential Life book. And we love this guide because it goes from like oils and then has ailments in the back. There's recipes. There's all kinds of sorts of things. Science. There's emotional.
There's even some, it gets into like how to blend it, reflexology, supplements, using it with your pets.
Yeah.
Cooking.
Yeah, it's such a good resource, and like it's not difficult, you guys. That's what I want to point out. It's not difficult to like figure out what oil is for that, and it's also, I just want to say, like all around beneficial to feel empowered enough to like be like, I have a solution. That's the most exciting. It's like light bulb. I have a solution. Like, because I feel like we get most anxious when we feel like we don't have options. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to be such a Sagittarius to say like that I like options all the time, but I feel like we get stuck in our own heads and we get stuck in our own lives and stuck in the routine, and emotion, like essential oils, they unstick you. You are relieved of being flat, like you are empowered. You are able to pick up and do the thing that you need to do. Your whole environment changes because you have lifted it. You have like said, I am here. I have a thing for that. Here's the solution. And then when people experience it, their minds are blown. Or it's subtle and they don't even give it credit like kids do. Sometimes. They're like, they're better.
My kids will automatically be like, can I have an oil for that?
Oh.
Sure. Let me figure it out. What do you want to feel? That's usually my question. How do you want the oil to make you feel? Yeah,
and that question we ask in our classes too. We say, what do you want to feel less of? Like you want to feel less tired, less like less falling apart. You want to feel less stress. And then what do you want to feel more of? Because you can look at it in two different ways. Same coin, two different sides. So you're like, man, I'm really stressed out right now. You know? And then you can use an oil for that. Or you can say, like, I would really like to relax, but I can't really get relaxed. And so you have an oil for that. Or when I burnt my hand in the oven and Tawnya was like, hey, lavender is good for burns. And I was like, and it didn't burn anymore, like instantly. I was like, what? So that was a learning opportunity. And now I can tell other people, hey, did you burn your hand in the oven? Do you have any doTERRA lavender oil? Or I do. Here you go. Like,
Here you know. Here's some oil. I'm always doing that when someone messages me or just talking, you know, saying I have this and this. I'm like, I have an oil for that. I can let you have an oil. I have sample bottles. Please allow me to supply you with help.
Yeah. We're solution makers. We like,
Yes.
and we're mothers, you know, like we want to like avoid the solution or avoid the problems before we even like get there. We're already like trying to figure out like, okay, 3 problems that there could be. I have 3 solutions. Like, proactive about that.
Yep.
I just wanted to say that it's fun to use the oils. It's fun to share the oils with people that need them, and it's fun to just play with them. Like it really does feel like play. And when you get family involved in it, everyone understands because it just takes an experience, and we all understand. We're like, oh, yeah, that's great. And I smell good everywhere I go now. Have you noticed that? Like people are like,
and you're like, yeah, that's me. I smell good.
well, here you go.
Yeah, here's a sample. This is what I'm wearing. Put Roman chamomile as of late.
I know, I was like, it's orange. Yeah.
Oh man. Orange is really good though too. I usually mix orange and Siberian fir because, you know, obsession with fur oils. But I use orange and Siberian fir and I use that like deodorant. Just mix it with fractionated coconut oil and just put it on like deodorant in a roller bottle.
Nice.
Works perfect.
I love it. Maybe our next talk should be about like ways to not like go buy our products and instead to like make our products like DIY or like low waste or like something like that. Like all the products that we make at home and how we make them. That'd be kind of fun.
That'd be fun.
You guys, in the comments, let me know. Do you want to hear about that? And I appreciate everyone for stopping in today, this night.
Yeah, the only thing I'll add is if you join our team as a wholesale customer, you actually get all of that knowledge too. Our team particularly has a website that we go to, and as a wholesale customer, you can learn all of that information. You'll have access to all the information that you need to learn the oils.
Yeah, it's a whole online course that you get from being on our team because our leaders made it and we used it when we were starting to learn. We still use it to reference and it's really fun. It's free. Like it's a whole online course with different modules, a whole login, all those things, and it's free. So if you want some support in this journey, you're not alone. Like you're not alone at all. Like this is fun. This is our fun work. Like
yeah, this is work for us. This is like hanging out with your friends and calling it work. You know, we tried to calculate how many hours we spend on doTERRA, didn't we, Jess? And it's impossible to calculate because it doesn't ever feel like we're working. It feels like we're just hanging out with our friends. We're teaching people about the oils, which is something that we love. And, you know, other than that, it's reading, which is something I love too. So.
And sharing knowledge.
Yes.
Like sharing knowledge on how people can heal themselves and their families and their communities. Like it's just knowledge and sharing it all the time. Like we just have so much fun learning together. And then we share those things that we learned, we share them out into the world. So that's what we did this evening. Thank you all so much for being here. And we do these lives once a month. And so maybe next month we'll do a little DIY talk. That would be fun
Sounds
too.
good to me. We do classes too, so just be on the lookout for Jess to post classes. I'll probably start doing some classes too.
Yeah,
So
every week, you guys. Like we hang out every week and talk about oils. So you're welcome to come with hang out with us. You're welcome to get all the resources that we got. We'd love to talk to you about like what oils would be good for you to start with because there are so many. And you heard us, like we haven't even tried them all. So we're knowledgeable, so you can come talk to us. You're welcome with open arms.
always.
Always.
And no problem is ever going to be something that we can't find a solution to.
It's true. Because just like with any other medicines, you just find more solutions. And we have so many solutions. We just need to take care of each other. Take care of each other and provide more solutions instead of more problems. Wouldn't you agree? Like,
I completely agree.
yeah. Well, I love you, Tawnya.
I love you too. Thank
Okay.
you. We'll see you
Thank
later.
you. Bye.